Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 5, Episode 10. And we're going to pick up where we left off. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. So Andy walks into her house. We know last week we ended with Andy going into her apartment and Gary and Robin being in the living room. So she walks in and they're sitting there in her living room and she's like, what's going on here? Why are y'all here? So Robin says, he had business to discuss. And, Gary was there. He was like, I was coming over and I saw Robin. I'm trying to figure out why he's here. Once he says, I got business to discuss, Andy was like, okay, can you please, Gary, like step to the back, like go in the bedroom. It's important, like step off because, she needs to talk about Sabrina and Gary's getting in the way. So Robin says Sabrina may get bail, but it could be set at $3 million cash. And she's like, I don't have all of it, like maybe half. And she asks Robin, like, can I borrow the other half? And, once she goes to trial, etc., like, then they'll give the bail money back. So he offered to help her, but I'm like, right now it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll help. But at what cost? Because, later down the line, he's going to want something from her. But, they come to an agreement. So he's going to try to get bail for Sabrina. And then once he leaves, Gary comes out with just a towel wrapped around his waist. So they about to get into it. So Danny woke up in her home and she woke up next to Preston. They didn't have sex, they didn't do anything, and they're just saying how they enjoy just waking up to each other for the first time without actually being physically intimate, just cuddling, etc. After they share some banter back and forth, Preston agrees to stay over at her place until she comes back. He goes into the bathroom and she checks his pocket. And when she checks his jean pocket, there was an engagement ring in there. And so she's looking like, she feels bad. I'm like, was it a ring for her? Was it for the other woman? I guess we'll find out soon enough. So we see Zach and he's talking to Fatima and he tells her he saw Hayden last night at the basketball courts. He clearly just has a lot on his mind. And, he was just like, do you really think they're going to come after me for all my money with the child support cases with the baby mamas? And she's like, yes, definitely. That's a yes. So he asked Fatima, like, why won't she wear her engagement ring? Is that the reason why? And she was like, I'm not ready for Andy to know yet. Let's find out the paternity results with Karen, and then we can shout it from the mountaintops. But right now, I'm not ready for Andy to know because she may tell Karen and cause more problems. So we see Karen and Aaron, and they're having breakfast at Karen's home. She was saying that she's going to go to the salon, and she has a doctor's appointment right after. So they end up telling each other they love each other. And I was like, that's what we're doing now? We're saying I love you to each other now? Okay. So then after Aaron walks out the room, Karen calls Andy, and she finds out that Sabrina is going to be getting out. And so she hears Gary in the background because he's yelling Andy's name. So she's like, okay, we're going to talk about this. Yeah, y'all all got a lot going on with these men, with these dragged on storylines, but okay. So Gary was excited. He's telling Andy after she hangs up the phone, like Robin might not be her boss much longer anyway. Today's going to be a good day. Andy's acting confused, and really he could ruin everything that's going on with Sabrina in this case. So now is not the time for Gary and his shenanigans. We see Pam. She's going to the shop, and she noticed the curling irons on. And she's like, "Ooh, like Karen would get me if she knew that this was on." Karen happens to walk in right when she's saying that, and she's like, "See, I knew I couldn't trust you. I knew you was leaving stuff on, and they were going back and forth. I would have been upset too." But Pam threatens to call her mom, and she's like, and I'll call you. She's like, and I'll tell her that, you left the curling iron on. So they both agree to just let it go and let bygones be bygones. I still can't see how Karen talks to Pam now. So at the courthouse, Andy says Robin got Sabrina bail. And then the prosecutor that has it out for her comes out being petty. And I'm just like, this has to be a conflict of interest because of a personal matter that you worked on. He should not be able to be involved in this because it's a conflict of interest. I don't know how that works in this situation. So Andy tried to ask for Danny's advice on the Gary and Robin situation because we know what Gary and Hayden are up to, trying to get Robin out of there, out of the company. We know she was in his pockets reading papers. So she's trying to kind of ask Danny for advice without telling her everything. And Danny's like, I only you know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're saying. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'll follow your gut, okay? I know it got something to do with Gary. Follow your gut. That's all I can say. So after they go through that, and Danny like, I don't know what you're talking about, girl. Andy calls Karen, and Sabrina ends up walking out. So they're gonna go to her appointment, and Sabrina was like, I need to take a shower. I need to take a shower. She keeps saying that. So the prosecutor meets with Maurice. And I missed Maurice on my TV screen. I really did. He tries to convince Maurice to testify against Sabrina, but Maurice refused. Like, he's not having it. Somebody needs to get Q because enough is enough already. So Zach meets with an attorney regarding the child support. The attorney says that, she's doing a favor for Bryce. And she was like, look, you can't end up having to pay each baby mama half of your earnings each to both of them, which means you get nothing. I don't see how that works, but okay. And she said she's willing to talk to both children's mothers on his behalf. She's expensive, but she'll try to help him out and do a favor. I feel like she's going to start, being into Zach, because he didn't mention, he said, he mentioned his situation, but he didn't mention Fatima, so I don't know if she's going to start to catch feelings. So Sabrina gets home and Danny tells her they're going to Karen's apartment, but she's like, stay free. Don't let them impact your mind. And I'm like, Danny is so silly. So Andy and Danny leave, and right when they leave, Calvin calls. He's so relieved to hear her, and he's just venting, and he's like, yeah, Q is behind this. And she's like, I know. And he's like, he's here. He won't leave the apartment. He won't get out. He keeps breaking the locks. And she's like, oh, what? I'm coming right now. But I gotta take a shower first. I said, this girl gonna get this shower. What went on in prison? This shower she has to take. So we see Andy and Danny. They arrived at Karen's appointment. She held the doctor off so they could get there. And so the doctor comes out and she's like, look, it's not 100%, but it's looking like the baby was conceived on the 12th. And again, we need blood work. We need a paternity test. So Karen was disappointed, in my opinion. She's like, okay, are you sure it wasn't the 19th? And I remember her saying before that she slept with Zach first and then Aaron later in the week. And so we have a cliffhanger because they're like, well, whose baby is it? Like, who'd you sleep with on the 12th? Again, I think it ended up being Zach's, and I feel like she's starting to like Aaron now. So she probably was disappointed and wanted it to be Aaron's. And now she got what she initially wanted, which was Zach, and she don't want that no more. But that's just my opinion. So Sabrina comes over to Maurice's apartment. She's seen Q. He's, messing with her, like trying to get under her skin. And she got so upset. She took one of Calvin's golf clubs and hit him in the back of the neck. And so, Q was acting like he was about to start, fighting Sabrina. So Calvin lost it. That set him off. That he don't play about his girl, so that triggered him. So he started hitting them with the golf club, hitting them, and that is where it ended for me. So let me know what y'all are thinking about this episode in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.